won't be as clunky as it looks right now. All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay, we're live. Welcome. All right, good to see you all. There's something I wanted to share with you, really exciting today. I've got a great guest with me. You might know him from the past, working with us, and just a brilliant dude. And let me make sure that I get all of this background noise out of here. Perfect. All right. So really about talking about cash flow, that's what we've kind of been about here from the very, very beginning at Epic. We've always been very much on buy and hold for cash flow. We'll flip a property, we'll wholesale a property if we need some cash. But really the wealth is created by holding property. And a lot of the data that enables you and empowers you to do that successfully, especially like on a retail level, can be rather challenging. And what we're experiencing right now with interest rates rising, it's becoming more and more challenging. I mean, some people think, oh, interest rates have only gone up a few points, like 3 or 4 points. No, they've actually doubled, right? When you think it's gone up 2 or 3 points, it's not that big of a deal. But actually, when you go from a 3 to a 6, you've doubled your payment, so to speak. And if you are a cash flow investor and you're dependent on traditional bank financing, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And a lot of people are wondering if they'll ever find a rental property. And how do they find a rental property that can generate positive cash flow? Did they miss their window? The competition is really heavy for cash flowing properties. Will I be able to secure a good rental property before someone else snatches it up? That's a concern. If they had their eyes set on a specific location of where they wanted to invest, and that's really impossible now. Could they consider another location? But how would they get that information? How would they get that data about another location? Something that they could rely on, something that would be very dependable and trustworthy. The thing that people are kind of thinking about, what if interest rates continue to rise? Is the situation going to worse? Do I really need to get in now so I can look smart later, like I was a genius and I bought when interest rates were low? So there's all different types of things that people are thinking about, they're concerned about. And it's always clear in hindsight, like what I should have done. But then what's not always clear is what you should do now. I think it is, but for a lot of people, there's a lot of uncertainty there. So there's a secret out there now that's going to be revealed here very shortly within the next few days, to where you can access this type of information, where you actually can cash flow in 2023, despite what you're hearing on the media. And you should probably stop listening to that anyway, particularly when it comes to real estate and economics, because when you're out there in the real world and you're mixing it up, it's not necessarily the truth. So I want to address all of those concerns for everybody and invite you to something really special. But first, I want to introduce you to a really good friend of mine, Mr. Benson Juarez from Privy. Benson, welcome back to the Epic Real Estate Investing Show.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's always good to be with you. We always have a good time together and looking forward to it.
For sure. I didn't even have an introduction planned or anything like that, but I just started talking and it just started, rolling off the tongue, and just kind of, that's kind of my assessment. And I'm hearing it all from a lot of my clients. I'm hearing it from my peers. I'm feeling it out there in the real market, talking to sellers and buyers. What are you hearing about the market right now? What are the big challenges that you're seeing and hearing about?
A lot of it just comes back to uncertainty. Just so many people are still sitting on the sidelines, or maybe aren't taking action as quickly as they were in the past. They're not as certain with their numbers and what's going to happen with the market. So some hesitation, and for experienced people, they can usually figure out how to navigate that because they've been around for a while and they kind of have their systems and processes in place. And they've got their people too to advise them. For brand new people or people who are just kind of getting going, because they don't have that confidence and the experience, that really kind of just slows them down and oftentimes stops them completely. So, for a lot of the people that are out there, I don't know which bucket you fit in, or maybe somewhere on the spectrum, you can solve a lot of those issues with data. And so with better data, you can make better decisions, quicker decisions. You can feel confident about the properties that you're seeing and really recognize that there's an opportunity there and you need to take advantage of that thing, because the good deals go fast, and you're not the only one that's looking for these properties. So you need an edge to be able to help you feel confident so you can just take action.
Right. I'm glad you said data, because investing can be such an emotional experience, right? And you make these, and it can be emotional as far as whether you go left or you're right, or you don't do anything at all. And what you just said is absolutely correct. There's no room for your feelings or emotions inside of investing. It's all math. It's all based on data. and you don't have to worry about what CNN said or what Fox said, and you don't have to worry about what they're doing over in Ukraine. You just have to look at the data, and if you have access to good data, you can make much more well-informed decisions than you could based off of an emotional, outlandish character like, say, a Jim Cramer or the likes of him, right?
Right.
And so, it's your money that you're going to be investing, so you should know what you're investing it in, and you should have the data to make those informed decisions. And that's one thing I like about Privy, that Benson represents, and he's done it so well, and it's got such a great suite of tools. In the past, and it still does for sure, but they're really groundbreaking on finding deeply discounted deals right on the open retail market, which has just been a very difficult thing to do. But if you got that edge, if you got the right data, then it's not as difficult, as we've exhibited or demonstrated right here at Epic multiple times. I've used the service with my students in a live platform or a live format. They've watched me. I got a free property subject to, and I got a property with seller financing, which everyone said that was impossible to do on the multiple listing service. So I owe all that credit to that, to Privy for that. Also, you got access to the multiple listing service in many, many markets, certainly most of the important ones. And you get access to kind of what the agents are seeing. You get access to the photos, and you can compare the before and after pictures, and you can get a true assessment of what a property's value really is. And then the last one is you get to track all of the investor activity. You get to see where the investors are most active. So if you're in the business of flipping properties, you want to know where are all the people that would buy those flips would be. And that's something that Privy gives you a direct access to. But they've got a new powerful feature that they're getting ready to unroll that's really going to help you if you're a cash flow investor. You want to talk about that a little bit, Benson?
Oh yeah. I mean, we've really kind of grew our reputation by being able to have the access to the best data that's available from MLS and multiple markets, like you mentioned, and that data is always growing and into new markets, and we're really proud of that. And even the data that we have in some of these areas that isn't direct to MLS has gotten way better and way more accurate and up to date. So that's exciting too. But we always had these investors who use the platform that were like, you know what? I know that this is great for a wholesaling. This is great for fix and flipping. This is even great for BRRRR, the BRRRR approach. But I'm a long-term investor, and I like to get a deal on properties. But really, what's most important to me is cash flow. Like, I don't need to make all my money up front like a flipper does. I'm going to make my money over time by making a little bit every month from the cash flow, from what my mortgage is and my expenses, and then how much I can rent that property out. And so, for years, we've been looking for a reliable source of rental data because it's really fragmented, honestly. There's all kinds of different sources, and in many markets, they don't even put rental listing data in the MLS. So we would have some in like one market, and then like another market, it wouldn't be it wasn't like a standard thing that agents would list properties on the MLS. So it was kind of like fragmented. And then we looked at multiple different sources. And so for years, we've been trying to find the best source. And we found an amazing data partner who has over close to 150 million rental comp data points that we can now leverage in these markets where we're already doing business. And so we basically built a filter and a comping algorithm that compares the rental data to what an estimated mortgage payment would be on that property based off of a certain number of assumptions, and then other assumptions based off of what expenses are and some of the other things that how you measure how good a deal is. So there's straight cash flow, but then there's other ways of measuring it, like cash on cash return, annualized return, net operating income, just cap rates. And so we've got 4 new ways that you can measure cash flowing property inside of Privy once you find them, but also searching for them. So we've got an algorithm where you can set your filter and say, show me every property that I can buy today that's at a certain price point, that has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in a certain area that I like, that's at a 10% cap rate. And the system will go out there and find those properties, and it shows you the actual comps, not an estimated comp analysis, not an estimated rental rate based off of some black box like you might find it with like a Rent-O-Meter or something like that, but the actual comparables. So you can see that this house is in okay condition. Maybe it had some updates in the 90s. That's written out for $1,000. But this house that was newly renovated is written out for $1,600 a month. I need to do a little bit of improvements to push my value up. So it's really exciting. Like, I've been playing with it a lot. We just released it, internally to like some of our VIPs, but we're getting ready to release it to the masses. And I'm really excited to introduce it to the Epic community next week. There, Matt. I lost you, buddy. I'm not sure if you all can see me out there in YouTube land, but we may have lost our friend Matt, or I'm the one that got lost. I'm not 100% sure there. Um, so I'm not sure if Matt is still with us, but I will continue talking until we can confirm that's what's going on here. I lost your video, Matt. You can hear me just fine. Cool. I can't hear you at all. So that's what we have coming up next week. On the date is going to be Tuesday the 18th, and it's going to be a live demonstration where we're going to break down the full technical pieces of the tool, show you how to use it, show you how to find the right areas. You can use this data to find markets that have cash flowing properties. You could use it to find the rental data that you need to analyze your current properties. You can use the data to actually set a filter to go out and find you properties automatically every single day and have them emailed to you. So that's all going to be done Tuesday the 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern. The link is in the description. So go ahead and just click the link in the description to get registered for that. And we're going to have some cool perks for you too if you show up. So make sure you show up, come in and take a look at what we have. If you are wholesaling or you're fix and flipping and you think you're not ready for buying rental properties yet, I still think you should come, because a lot of people's resistance with not buying rental properties is just really not having a good, reliable way of doing it. So with our data-driven approach and the automation and the algorithms doing a lot of that heavy lifting for you, I certainly think like it's going to really inspire a lot of people to take that leap and start getting into that game of buying properties. Because just like Matt said at the beginning, yeah, it's great to do some wholesale deals and do some flips to generate some liquidity and some cash flow to pay for the bills and keep the lights on and make sure that there's money coming in. But real wealth, generational wealth is built by building a portfolio of properties that can build, equity over time, the cash flow, and then you get all of the cool benefits of owning real estate, like tax deductions, depreciation, and all of those things add up to way better returns over time. So please just join us Tuesday the 18th. I'm going to be with Matt, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So hope everybody has a great day. We will see you next week. Take care.